Everyone knows that at such times, strikes like this one, civil war or war, the moment they start, there will be tragedies of all kinds, if for no other reason than that the people in every society who enjoy thuggery come to the surface. But the point is, everyone knows this at such times except the people involved, who seem to the onlookers as if they were drunk or hypnotized or have lost their senses. Well, they have. They've become part of some great mass lunacy, and while they're in it, no individual judgment can be expected from them. What they say is formalized in sets of attitudes that are absolutely predictable. The miners talking about their colleagues who chose to return to work, for instance. With a concentration of vituperation you'd never think possible in ordinary times, they were described as scabs, scum, filth, rubbish criminals. This was to be expected. But the interesting thing was how much of it was in religious language. The miners returning to work had left the fold, should return to the fold, would be forgiven if they did return to the fold. The striking miners had a divine right to this or that. Their struggle had, of course, been sanctified by suffering, by sacrifices. It is, of course, by now a cliché that political movements and religious movements behave alike. We all talk now about the churches of socialism, about the dogmas of Marxism, similar to those of religious bigots. But I wonder if this way of talking has not become a means of not thinking, as do all the easy and automatic words, phrases. As things are, we can discuss political bigotry, extremism, mass movements and their behavior interminably, and never mention our religious history, except in some sort of vague way such as, religions and political movements have much in common. We forget, and the young people don't know since they don't read history, that we are heirs of 2,000 years, more or less, of a most tyrannical regime, besides which Hitler and Stalin are babes. Not that modern tyrants have not learned from the churches, some consciously. About the time of the First World War, the churches lost their teeth and ceased to become the major influence on our Western societies. Now they are amiable, often orientated towards work that is indistinguishable from social and charitable work, infinitely divided, and while some of the sects are totalitarian, it is not possible for the church, as was the case till only yesterday, historically speaking, to dominate a whole society as the sole arbiter of conduct and thought. But for 2,000 years, Europe was under a tyrant, the Christian Church, which allowed no other way of thinking, cut off all influences from outside, did not hesitate, as we know, to kill, extirpate, persecute, burn, torture in the name of God. To remember this history is not for the sake of keeping alive the memories of old tyrannies, but to recognize present tyranny,